All right, who's going to win?
Okay, well, first of all, for everybody for the Canadian division. To me, the question is not who's going to finish first. Who are the three teams that aren't going to make the playoffs?
Well, Ottawa. First of all, Ottawa is going to be tougher. Nobody's going to go in and have a good time in Ottawa. You're going to pay the price. If you beat them now, you're going to pay the price. They're going to have a pretty good club, and if they walk in and they get off to a good start, 56 games,
and nobody expects them to win, so there's no pressure.
No pressure. Well, there's pressure on the team, but you will not fool around with Ottawa and have a good time anymore. So imagine the other two teams.
So you have the Flames, Oilers, Habs, Sens, Leafs, Canucks, Jets. So two of those teams outside Ottawa is not going to.
I'd like to say, and I usually when I was a coach's corner, I used to say who's going to win. I don't know. I don't know.
So here you want to know the odds.
Yeah, give me the odds.
The odds. So Toronto's favored to win that Canadian division. Montreal's second.
Oh yeah, well that's Carey Price.
Yeah, so you get five.
They got tough. Everybody's getting tough now.
Yeah, it's 5-1 that you get. Edmonton's third at 6-1. That's pretty good money.
Yeah, but they got one of the two of the best players in the league.
Yeah, but I'm thinking it's six. You get that's a pretty good odds.
Yeah,
Calgary's
and they got a good goalie now.
Yeah, Calgary's 6.5. So they're things. So the team, and then Vancouver's 8-1. So they're picking according to the Vegas bettors and on spreads.ca the bettors. Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Ottawa aren't going to make the playoffs.
I don't know Vancouver. And you talk about Vancouver, they got the two. I think they got the two best goaltenders playing on the same team than anybody.
Right, and you look, if you're going to bet, you get 8-1 odds.
I'll tell you, boy. You take a flyer. I'd take a flyer on those Canadian teams because I don't think they're the best, though. I think.
So, do you believe that Toronto's going to be number one in the Canadian division or whatever you call it?
Well, they'd think so.
Yeah, big. I just for me, I know, and I'll not saying this because Jared Kiesel likes them, but I look at Calgary because they didn't have a very good year last year. They got a chip on their shoulder. They got that Markstrom from Vancouver. They got the defenseman from Vancouver.
And Markstrom want to prove.
And he's going to want to prove something. And I just think they needed a goalie last year. So, but then again, you look at McDavid. I mean, he's going to be on a tear this year.
The one thing and I know you're on a roll about that, and I'll get back to that. But one thing when you mentioned McDavid, he was not even nominated. Not even nominated. He didn't win. But not even the Masterson Trophy, he wasn't even. And he come back from an injury that nobody comes back from. And he come back and play. Well, he wasn't even nominated.
Maybe he'll have a chip on his shoulder.
No, I don't know.
He doesn't play with a chip on his shoulder, though, now, does he?
He got snubbed. I mean, you get snubbed like that, like nobody voted for you, and he
wasn't even nominated.
He played less games, and he was the second highest scorer in the league.
I'm not knocking him, but I'm just saying he doesn't seem to play like a guy that has.
Oh, I think he does.
He does. Let's hope so, even more.
So, but I don't know. Like you look at that, and you say you got to pick two teams not going to make the playoffs. But I don't think that's the toughest division, though.
No, here's the toughest division. I think. It's Boston, Buffalo, and Buffalo's going to be a lot better, too. They got somebody to play with. They got Stahl.
They got Hall.
Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
So Buffalo, Devils, Islanders, Flyers, Pens, Pittsburgh, I think they call it Penn, and Washington. I think that's the toughest division. I mean, look at those teams. The only team I can see out of the playoffs is Buffalo. Yeah. And they're going to be a lot better, too. Nobody's going to push them around. The second, I think, is the Canadian division. It's the toughest. Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers, Montreal, the Sens, Ottawa. Like I said, they're going to be tougher too. Nobody's going to push them around. Canucks and Jets. No, I just did that. Not
in any particular order.
Because if you could pick the two teams out that are going to be out of that division, you're pretty good, and I'm pretty good. I think so. The third is the Hurricanes, Blue Jackets, Wings. Hawks, Panthers, Wild. I think that's the third, and I think the worst. It used to be the doom to go out west.
Yeah.
But it's Ducks, Coyotes. I think they're the worst. guys are going to have a.
Well, you think, you look at Colorado, St. Louis, Vegas, and then they'll make the playoffs, and then it'll be a race to the bottom after that.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough. If you could pick the winners out of them, you're pretty good. And I would like to say I'd like to pick the two teams that are going to be out of the playoffs in the Canadian division. You're going to have to be pretty good to pick them.
Yeah.